Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Stash Report from the Stash Project. Today is June 4th, 2018, and we're plunging directly into the summer. Seems like just a few weeks ago we were shoveling sidewalks. No, wait. Here in the East Coast it did snow kind of late. But anyway, temperatures are rising, and so are the kit news and the releases and all that sort of thing. Since I've tried desperately to connect my interdispersed thoughts together, and I failed miserably. We have some kit announcements from Hasegawa. They've gone ahead and let their August kit release information go ahead. And then we have some decal news to talk about for the month of June, as well as the kit releases for this week. Now, this week, of course, we're running, is sort of half a week behind, and this is basically filling out the remainder of May of 2018's releases. You guys who were watching, every video know that we did the June compilation video of what to expect for the month of June, and it's an iffy month. I mean, there's a few things here and there, but it's not as good as, say, July or potentially, I would believe, August. So let's talk about those August Hasegawa kit releases. Basically, they're all reissues. There are two modified tooling new kits out there, so you could probably sort of kind of guess what these are going to be in terms of thinking about what the newest tools Fujimi has put together, or Hasegawa rather, has put together in the last 18 months. Sort of give you a tip into where we're going with this. But first up, the stuff that's just sort of reissues. There's a reissue of their Volkswagen Beetle, and this one is going to be with the Moon Eyes Express livery. So this is their curbside Beetle kit with the salt flat wheels. Now there is a Moon Eyes Beetle already in existence. It's like black with yellow stripes, it's very much like a Pittsburgh Steelers, Pittsburgh Pirates, Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm sure there's a college out there that uses black and gold. Don't care. Don't answer that. Iowa. But this is a different livery. The car is going to be primarily yellow, and I don't believe this decal set or this idea for a Moon Eyes Beetle has been done before, because usually when Hasegawa reissues a kit that has been done in the past, they will show box art for the kit from the past, because they just recycled box art. This one is just a line drawing with for the decal placement guide, and so I believe that this is a new kit if you're into the whole Moon Eyes thing. They're going to reissue their Toyota Celica Turbo 4-wheel drive rally car. This one's going to be for the 1993 RAC Rally, the Royal Auto Club over in the UK. This is the winning car from that race. I'm going to pick one up just because I have a number of RAC winning cars at this point, and so I'm going to add another one to it. Plus, I don't have any of really modern 90s rally cars. I have a bunch of like 60s and 70s stuff, or I should say 70s and maybe early 80s stuff, and then I have the new stuff like the new Polos. I want to get one of the Ford Focuses when it comes out. The new not I guess it is a Hyundai. No, it's not a Hyundai. The new Citroen, rather, that Belkis is doing. Hyundai's not been announced yet. Modern rally cars, but I don't have anything in that like 90s period. I was always a super. Let's go into my psychosis here. I've always been a Supra fan from the 80s and the 90s. That was the sort of the halo car of Toyota at the time, especially here in the United States. And so the Celica is sort of one of those sort of kind of cars to me. So I don't have any. I didn't get any of the B-Max Celica rally cars, and I haven't gotten any of the. I don't have the Tamiya Celica rally car, and I haven't gotten any of the Hasegawa rally cars. But there's one. Okay, so the liveries for a race for which I have a number of liveries collected, mostly for escorts, but still, nonetheless, it'll fit into that sort of subgenre in my mind, and so I'm going to go ahead and grab one. Also on the reissue slate here, the Benetton B190 F1 car. This is a 1/24th scale F1 car from the 1991 season. As far as the 1991 livery goes, I realized that they did that kit not that long ago, because I called it the Bennington F1 car and got some ration of crap from old Patrick there, who wanted to remind me that it is Benetton, not Bennington. Anyway, so it's another, basically, I think it's the same kit with just different decals inside of it. I'm not sure how much difference there really was between the 1990 and the 1991 car. They're going to reissue their Mazda 767B car with the Playshore Racing livery. Now, I did not say pleasure incorrectly. It is Playshore, like play a game. Sure. So it's a very interesting car. It's a yellow with like hot pink magenta stripes. The last time I've seen one of these on eBay, because somebody just mentioned in the release slate for this in Japanese, were complaining that this kit is being sold for nearly 3,000 yen, which is, you know, around $30. And when it came out originally back in the 1990s, it was only like 1,800 yen, which was around $17. And why does this kit cost so much? I'm like, well, go, you know, look that up on eBay. The last, I can only find one on eBay, and it is $90. Now, whether or not that's a valid price or not, it's the only one. So if you want one bad enough, that's the only way to get one. I don't think a $10 increase over the course of 28 years is really all that outrageous, frankly. You know, I get this is sort of the Japanese version of the American argument we always have here about why do Revell reissues cost so much, or why did Round 2 reissues cost so much. They were only $5 back then. Why are they $30 now? It's the same sort of thing. You know, do you want a kit with brand new fresh decals, or do you want to take that chance on that 1991 box and hope that there's something in there for you to use? Almost worth the extra $10, $12 right there, simply because well, replacement decals for this livery don't exist in the first place. I looked, but even if they did, they would be $18, $20. So yeah, they're just sort of pricing it at less than replacement would cost. So I think it's, you know, it's a reasonable price for it. One thing that's sort of a little bit of a twist on an existing kit, but not enough to really call it a new one, is something they're calling the Zashaka, which is apparently an anime series or perhaps a manga. I can't really tell if it's also A, too lazy to look, but B, it's not really like upfront with whether or not it's a TV show or just a comic book series. But they're going to reissue their Subaru 360, which is the little tiny Volkswagen Beetle-sized car from the 1960s, with an acrylic base and what they're calling acrylic figures, which means it's like a cutout of people that you just put either a sticker or a decal onto, and you put, you know, you build this little acrylic base with a little background, and then you stick the car on it. You stick these little figures next to it, and Shazam, you have this new thing. So a little bit different than their resin thing that they've been doing recently, but still kind of neat. And then we come to the two modified toolings here that are going to be the new kits for the beginning of or it should really be late summer since fall doesn't start in August. First up is a BMW 2000 Ti. Now, this is a different thing than the TII when we start splitting the nth degrees of Japanese model making. The TII is a not turbocharged, but a dual carb car with a bigger engine in it. Came around 1973. You obviously saw the release of this kit that Hasegawa did. It was the first one of the BMW 2002 kits to come out. If you watched one of our more recent acquisition videos, I showed you a lot of the contents to the BMW 2000 Ti rally car, and I pointed out in that kit it has the factory stock wheel covers rather than in the kit, plus the steel wheels that are used in the rally car. And that my plan overall for it, especially since I found one that has fog lights on it, just like the rally car comes with, is to build a 1968 BMW 2002 Ti street car. So what's different about this? Is it just a rebox of the rally kit? Yes, and again, splitting that hair in the nth degree, no. There's actually going to be a tiny, tiny, tiny little runner. It's probably about the size of a stick of gum that has two new headrests tooled up into it, because apparently the rally car builds into a very, very early 2002, like one of the very first 2002s that were made. Before 1972-73, when that switch over from TI to TII took place, there was a dual carb. This is all meaningless because there's no engine, I realize, but, you know, stay with me as with their imagination, basically. There was a dual carb version of the TI, and it had different headrests than the 1968 car did. So this is going to make like a 1972 BMW TI. Is it enough to buy another BMW 2000 Ti? Dang straight it is. And then the last reissue that's modified is the Isuzu Gemini. Now, we told you this when this kit was coming out, that they would more than likely do the ZZ tuned by Lotus version. It would, you know, if you're starting with the Irmscher, it's not a very far step to the Isuzu, the ZZ tuned by Lotus version. So this kit's going to have new front bumper, new rear bumper, a new basically exhaust back, from the muffler back to the tailpipes. It's going to have new tail lights, and it's going to have a new set of two-piece BBS wheels, because that's what the original thing came with. It is going to be, at least in the body, molded in metallic, or not even metallic, but just a dark green. I'm not a really huge fan of molded in color cars. You guys know that. However, I'm pretty sure somebody from Japan or over there who knows more about these cars could verify, but I'm pretty sure that the ZZ tuned by Lotus only came in British Racing Green because of, you know, Lotus. So technically speaking, yes, it's your model. You can paint whatever color you want to. If you're going to build this thing like the box contents are, it's dark green anyway. So at that point, I'm not really too offended by it, because I'm basically painting a dark green car dark green, and it's irrelevant at that point. Very interesting to see small, they're 14-inch wheels in a two-piece form, but that'll let you, of course, paint the wheel center separate from the rim face itself. More than likely, I think that's a Molotow solution there. I'm pretty sure that the rim is chrome on that, or at least polished stainless steel, and the you know, like a BBS mesh wheel, the inside is gold. I'd have to really look at, try to find out. I've found one picture of the ZZ tuned by Lotus car, and it's kind of hard to tell in the picture, you know, exactly how the rims are put together. So, anyway, guys, that covers the August Hasegawa stuff. Some interesting things there. Again, if you're, I don't know, it almost goes into kit collection at some point where you decide that, you know, you really do need 4 BMW 2002s, and you haven't built any of them yet. So that takes us over to decal news for June. As usual, there is a carbon fiber decal set coming out of Studio 27. This month it is a 1/24 scale set, and it is for the Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR. Now that is the car that was done in 1997 as part of the FIA GT1 racing series. It's basically a sister, well not sister, but a companion kit to, and ran in the same racing series as the Porsche 911 GT1. Now, the Porsche 911 GT1 kit from Tamiya itself is for the Le Mans car, and Tamiya did do a Le Mans version of the CLK GTR. It's the one car that has the original Telly livery in blue. Most of their other cars were FIA GT1 for the 3 teams. The base kit that is still nominally in production, I believe, offers you the ability to make 2 of the D2 cars, the number 10 and the number 11, and then there is a CLK version with a sportswear livery that was redone, I want to say 2008 or so. It has one of the black boxes, so it's a newer reissue. There was an original one, and then they reissued it, mainly because that livery is very complicated and those decals degraded over time. It'd be nice if they did that to that Group A 635. But like I said, there's 3 actual FIA GT1 1997 team cars if you build them all, and then there's the Le Mans car, and this is, of course, like I said, carbon fiber for that. The other thing we have in decal news are the releases from SK Decals for the month of June. These should be ready to ship out on the 15th, and in this chart of fun and excitement, the top one there is the 999 car from the Macau 2017 Macau race. It is the Lincoln Park car, otherwise known, or also known as the Lincoln Park ARC car. You paint the car white, and they include decals for all of the stripes. That's very nice, not that they're going to paint those. And the stripes and the decals are a little bit of new technology in terms of what they're like, based on their thinness and flexibility and things like that. So it'll be fun to get those in. The Energizer car there, of course, are decals for the BMAX Toyota Corona. They represent the 1994 Macau Gia race of Macau. I believe that car finished either 2nd or 3rd in that race. Decals for that are pretty comprehensive. You paint the car black. All of the silver you see on the car is represented in decal. Very easy also to paint because it's just the front fender, back fender, over the roof, and the very bottom parts of the trim, but decals are included for all the silver. The 2 BMW M6s are a 2-pack that Frankie and I worked on as far as trying to find something else to do with this livery. It is the Schnitzer racing team livery. We do have a couple more ideas for it once the Nürburgring car comes out, the reissue from Nunu Hobby that has the fender vents available. These two cars, the top one directly beside the Energizer car, represents the ADAC GT Masters cars that ran in Hockenheim in the last round of the 2017 ADAC GT Masters series. The bottom car, 2 slots below it, underneath, beside all the AMGs, playing a Brady Bunch or one thing is not like the other, is the car that ran and won the 2018 Bathurst race. I believe it was 12 hours or 24 hours. I should know that off the top of my head, but I don't. So obviously both liveries use the same Schnitzer BMW stripe, the light blue, dark blue, red that goes diagonally across the top of the car, and they both use the same M Power logo that goes on the door. Beyond that, the decals separate out and are a little bit different. I believe they use different racing brands of tires, although I think they might both be Pirelli. But at any rate, you have the DECRA sponsored placards and the Megalar placards for the Australian race, and there are different NCAP sponsorships for the winglets and things like that. But overall, you need to buy 2 sheets of decals if you want to do them both. Is what I'm trying to get to. Build 1 per, but we felt good bringing some M6 decals to the market because there really aren't any at the moment. There will be some more upcoming. Again, and we said we have some ideas for the Nürburgring car once it gets developed. And then the AMGs that exist down there at the bottom are the 48 and the 50 AMG Driving Academy cars that, I believe one of those cars won. I didn't write the stuff down before I did this video. I really should have. And then the other car there is another Group M Racing, the number 888 car. Now, the decals for this are really a pick your poison in terms of what you're going to do. You get all of the fluorescent stripes to do any of the 3 cars, plus either the AMG or the Group M Racing logos and the numbers. You have to pick a car. You can't make all 3 cars out of the one decal set, but you do get all of the stripes for all 3 cars because they are different colors. One's yellow, one's neon green, and the other one is like a fluorescent red. So like I said, you do have to pick which car you're going to do. You can't do all 3 out of one set of decals. But you do get a whole bunch of extra stripes, if nothing else, if you wanted to do another car, a fantasy livery, something like that. The Group M cars, both the 999 and the 888, were entries based off of teams that ran the 2017 Blancpain Asia GT Series. So they were additional cars that ran Macau that normally don't. Of course, there was that very, very large crash of the 2017 Macau Practice Series that wiped almost all of these cars out, except the number 48 car that went on to win. So, anyway, if you're into some racing decals, you got a little historical one there. There's that. We got he has some more interesting stuff planned. I mean, I poke around here and there with ideas, and fund a project or two. In the future, we're going to look to try to get some decals made specifically for stuff that I want done, and just shovel ideas at Frankie until he makes something that I want to see. But we have some interesting things coming as far as another couple of Volvos for the BMAX kits, some liveries for the 935 BMAX kit that's going to be coming out in the summer, and then some more AMGs and M6s. So hang on and stay tuned. We'll get you covered something sooner or later. So that takes us over to the kit releases for the basically end of May. Starting in the domestic side of things, you have the 2 remaining round 2 kits that came out this week. They are the AMT reissue of the 55 Cameo pickup truck with the Coca-Cola livery. So the venerable 55 Cameo is back for another go-around. This kit does include a set of larger tires and mag wheels. I believe they're the same mag wheels that are just being thrown out there over and over and over again. Once they tooled them up, they seem to be in every kit now, but it does give you something different. This kit has never had optional wheels before. This kit does come with a die-cast vending machine and a dolly, so keep that in mind when you're ordering it online. It's going to be a little heavier than other kits, so the shipping may be a little bit different than you're expecting. But otherwise, you know, if you've seen one, you've seen it all. This kit came out in like 1992 originally, so I think pretty much everybody has seen the insides of one of those before. And then the other kit is this, the MPC sponsored or marketed Dyno Don Nicholson's Mercury Eliminator. So this is the first time that this kit has been available in what they're calling 40 years. Now this kit, of course, was reissued underneath the Model King branding, but not with this set of decals involved or this livery involved. So the kit has been around, you know, within the past 40 years, but this specific one has not. Molded in two colors, basically the body's molded in red, the rest of it's molded in black. I've seen the decal sheet for this live, if you will, from somebody who has one. It's pretty good representation, I think. There were 4 of these cars done, is my understanding, and it pretty much, the livery involved could do 2 of the 4 as it stands. You got pad printed drag slicks in there. The decals are cartographs, so of course great quality and all that sort of thing. But you know, no more digging around for a $180 original, and no more trying to find. No, you don't necessarily have to go buy the Slicks decals. Now the Slicks decals, you know, still exist, but they don't replicate specifically the car that they're replicating with this release. And I guess that about covers that one. Pearl red is the actual color there as I look at my notes. That'll take us overseas into Japan. There were several releases from Aoshima and Fujimi, and one new toolkit from Hasegawa, so we will start there. Hasegawa has released their Calsonic liveried Nissan Skyline GTS R R31 kit. So this represents the 1989 Japanese Touring Car Championship season winning Calsonic car. You notice, you'll just look at it, it's got side repeater lights, turn signals, headlights, very, very much the street car. So we showed you the whole shebang with this as far as what the kit contents were and how they differ from the street car that's coming out in July back in our Shizuoka wrap-up video, so we won't spend a whole heck of a lot of time rehashing here. But this is a brand new toolkit. It shares nothing with the Aoshima kit. It shares nothing with the Fujimi kit. Keep that in mind. It is a new toolkit, so it is not a Best Car Vintage. It is not formally motorized. Brand new toolkit. That'll take us to Fujimi. Fujimi had a few things clunking out here at the very end of the month. There are 2 Porsches and 2 of the old Racing Star kits. So the 2 Porsches are this one, which is apparently impossible to find because I pre-ordered one the day that they were announced, and I still don't have one in my personal warehouse because they're out of stock or on back order. It's the 74 Porsche 911 Carrera RS. Obviously, this would be the most wanted Porsche kit that Fujimi does, probably, because this one, along with the 356s and the 67 and 69 911s, have not been reissued since 2002. Yes, there's a Revell of Germany version of this kit, and yes, just like every Revell of Germany Porsche from the 1980s, it sucks on ice. So this is the one you want. This is also the Enthusiast Series kit, by the way. We mentioned it when they announced it, but reminder for you folks, if you've forgotten. This is the Enthusiast Series kit, obviously in a more mundane box art. But this specific car with its lower front grille opening and the whole thing that makes the 74 RS what the 74 RS is, has not been reissued in a long, long time, and happy days are here again as far as that goes, assuming you could get one. I mean, I'm just waiting on a restock, but I'm still a little bitter about it. The other reissue is this, the 1976 Porsche 930 Turbo, sort of the German marketing or product number, if you will, for the 911 Turbo. Again, another Enthusiast Series car. This car was reissued recently within the last 5 years underneath the Circuit no Anami kit series. It was released in that kit series. So this is, aside from having the box art that's kind of like the original box art, that's missing sort of the streetscape and has this more boring background to it. But it's the same kit again. Again, Enthusiast Series, so always good. But if you missed it in the Circuit no Anami series because you didn't realize that that was the same kit, is another opportunity for you to go grab one. And then you have the 2 Racing Star kits, the 2 Nissan Silvias, the Velsides. You have this S14 Velside, which I was wrongly under the impersonation that most of the Velside kits were resin kits. Both of these Velside kits for these Silvias are injected molded plastic. Now, the 180SX, that is resin. There are a couple of resin Racing Star kits. These ones don't actually happen to be them, but again, they were still hard to find anyway. So this is, yeah, it's an S14 Fujimi kit. So it is what it is in that term. But it is the first time in a very, very, very long time that it's had all of the Velside body kit parts involved. It doesn't have like stock front and rear bumper, so you're building a Velside out of this, whether you like it or not. So keep that in mind. And then you have the S15 Velside, which is this one has the wheels that everybody hates, but those are easily replaceable. So same principle here. It is the S15 Silvia that Fujimi has done 100,000 billion of, basically. They seem to reissue it every so often in various variations. I have one that's a combination of the. Actually, I don't think I have an S15. My S15s are Aoshima. The S14 I have is the one that's the combination of just an S14 and an Autech S14. But at any rate, same thing here. The body panels and all of the stuff is injected molded, so it's not resin. But it is, again, no factory stock parts and pieces here as far as the body kit goes. You're building a Velside, and you should enjoy your experience with that. That takes us to Aoshima. They had several kits come out in the model car line, and then 2 reissues in the the Tune model car side of things. Yes, I'm tripping with my words because I hear my dog barking. I need to throw it outside, but I want to get this done first. First up, you have the Vertex Toyota Mark II JZX 100 kit here. So a VIP car. This is actually one of the old D1 Grand Prix cars. It is what it is as far as the kit concepts are concerned. It hasn't been really that long since this kit was reissued, maybe a year or two, so it's just getting reboxed into the new series. And then you have this, the Garson Giraud Honda Odyssey VIP van. And you're sort of making a statement with that van. And that statement is, I don't get Japanese culture all of the time. But, you know what? It is what it is. It's a conversation piece, if nothing else. You cannot build the Odyssey stock. It obviously can only be built with this way in terms of all the body kit and the wheels. So that's another option out there for people. And the Tune model, or the regular model car side of things, you have this, the 1980 Mazda Familia 323 reissue of the old IMEI tooling. Not the most terrible IMEI tooling as far as the contents go. It is still a motorized kit and all the things from back in the day. The big selling point on this was it was going to have 4 of the same dimension factory stock wheels. And the way they did that was to run 2 sets of chrome runners into it. Because these wheels in this kit are a set of big and littles, basically. Not so much in the sense of diameter, but as in the sense of volume. The back tires are big, beefy, and the front ones are factory stock 14-inch wheels. So they had to run 2 sets of chrome runners so that you get basically 4 14-inch wheels to run with the 4 14-inch tires, because they did not include, as far as I could tell, the bigger rear wheels, which was kind of weird anyway because it's a front-wheel drive car. Why would you put big wheels on the back? I mean, everybody knows that if you're going to drag race a front-wheel drive car, you put the slicks on the front. That's where the power's coming to. But at any rate, yeah, that's an interesting little remnant of the past. A couple other remnants of the past that have come out this week as well. This, which is the, let me see what year we call this, 1978 Mitsubishi Galant A, or the Galant Alpha, I believe, technically speaking. This, of course, is a captive import as a Dodge product. We try not to remember that. Best car vintage, really not too terribly bad in terms of proportion of the body and things like that, but the chassis and the interior and stuff like that go south pretty quick in the terms of what you would expect. Also released this week, and this was an April kit that just finally came out. It is the 1/20th scale, keep that in mind, 1/20th scale Honda Life step van. So this is a little K-Toaster on wheel before K-Toaster on wheels were cool. It does come with 2 sets of wheels, the wheels you see there plus another set. It does come with most of the parts for the other variations of this kit that have been done over time. So you get surfboards, you get a little beach party type thing, you get a very weird Japanese 1970s entertainment center, which is like a TV set and a giant wooden cabinet full of speakers. So if nothing else, it's interesting for that. It is motorized and all the rest of that stuff, or will formally motorized and all the rest of that stuff. Another equally old truck, K-truck out of Aoshima, also the 1979 Suzuki ST30 carry truck panel van. This is not anything like the Subaru Sandbars that were done in 2012. This is from the very late, I believe, very early 1980s. It does come with livery to do the Japanese Post. I almost bought one just to have that because I have several other Japanese Post vehicles, but in the end, I couldn't justify spending the money on it. I couldn't see myself building it, knowing what the kit contents are like. It's, again, very toy-like and all that sort of thing. But it is the only one of those that exist. Also, this week, in the last kit we're going to talk about in this video, I believe, let me check the files here real quick. Yes, it is. And this is a little something, mercifully, something a little more modern. This is the 2002 Mazda RX-7 Spirit R Type B. Now, we talked about this when this kit was announced, that the Spirit R was a series of 3 kits, or 3 trim levels, basically, or 3 configuration levels, to be more accurate, of the RX-7 that were done in 2002. The Type A was no back seat, lightweight front seats, sort of a as close to racing car as you were going to get. Fujimi does that version, if you're interested. The Type B is a 2+2, so this has back seats. It is still lightweight Recaro front seats, but it does have a back seat, and it is a stick shift. And then there's the Type C, which is a 2+2 Recaro seats and an automatic. I don't think you're ever going to see a Type C made unless somebody just throws up a set of decals and a different transmission. Otherwise, all of these parts are combinations of their FD3S RX-7 they had laying around. I believe the BBS wheels in this, or the BBS-ish Mazda wheels that came in this, are actually the BBS wheels out of the, what am I thinking of? Mitsubishi Evo 10, because I don't believe I see any new tool parts in this at all, other than obviously a brand new set of decals. And like I said, sort of an amalgamation of parts to make this, which is cool because, again, this Type B is something that was not previously available ever. So you got to sort of fill I know it's a veritable niche of a very specific thing, but at the same time, nobody's done it till now, so why not Aoshima? So, guys, that wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Quite a bit of stuff to cover there. Very, very busy end of May. Looking at June, next video probably shorter just because it's the beginning of the month and there's not a whole heck of a lot of stuff going on. Announcements are all done. Now we wait on kits, so the reissue stuff will come out first, and then we'll wait on all of the reboxes and things like that to come out through the rest of the month. And hey, it is what it is, right? You guys ought to know. Guys ought to know the flow by now. So, you guys have a great weekend, or had a great weekend, I should say, and we'll see you guys on the other side.